this has been coming for way too long. It's been like, what, 10 months since I last posted about this before I cancelled it. I was self-hate, but it's fine. I've regained some confidence and also a degree of procrastination because I am bouncing this between Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bomber's Cyberpunk, He-Man, Persona 5, Batman, the 100 Girlfriends follow-up, Timberborn, King's Viking, the 139 ratio follow-up, and that bottle of villain I've been meaning to take to stop this soul level run focus. It's going to be fun if I can, well, get any of these scripts done to a satisfactory state with, well, the mental state I'm in. By the way, that was a joke, because in fact, two of those titles are, well, videos are out now, and well, I think their quality speaks for themselves. So maybe it's less a joke and more a very accurate observation. Wait, right. Being serious now, though. So I was completely just annoying the script for a while, but then watching that free episode of Fate/Strange Fake they released as a taster reminded me that I had the script lying around. So I decided I would give it another crack with a rewrite and a fresh perspective. So consider this a Christmas miracle. Or, I guess more accurately, a Palladius miracle, because Palladi is truly the greatest motivator for everything. Alright, I think that's a long enough tangent for the intro. Let's just, well, roll the intro. So, Shimousa. I'm just going to save you the time now before I do the long-winded rant. You aren't going to enjoy this if you're looking for a story-driven experience, and you aren't a fan of FGO. It really needs the context provided by FGO's Part 1 storyline to understand and fully appreciate the story element of this manga. I'm still going to be spending a majority of my video discussing why I believe that, but if you want to know if I can still recommend it despite that fact, timestamp on screen now. If you do plan to watch this segment of the video, though, you should know that I'm going to be acting like you, the viewer, have a bare knowledge to comprehend Fate, just like I did for my last two Fate manga reviews. I am just going to pretend that you at least understand what the basic premise of this series is that serves as a foundation for basically all Fate manga and spin-offs. If you really think that's unfair, don't worry, it doesn't matter anyway, as my point is that Shimousa is such an alienating experience that not even having a Fate/Stay Night route under your belt won't help you here. Let's start to prove my point with a very small summary. Shimousa is an adaptation of a FGO story from its intermission part of 1.5, which is a mainly self-contained stories with recurring characters that may become relevant again in the main story. In the case of Shimousa, they bring back Musashi after her appearance in the American Singularity, which is just before the story got good, while introducing two key characters for the upcoming part 2 with Muramasa and Doman. What's also very interesting is that they choose to use Guriko over Guido here as the Ritsuka representative, as Guido tends to be the one in the spotlight when it comes to FGO media adaptations. Anyway, Guriko finds herself slipping into a weird singularity via sudden coma, and not the usual way of phase shifting, and just like in Shinjuku, is forced to recruit servants in the singularity to help fix the problem. In that case, we're recruiting the efforts of Musashi and later Fuma to beat the Seven Deadly Swordsmen to resolve the altered period of time. If all that went over your head, I can't recommend Shimousa to you as a story-driven experience. If you got a majority of that, you probably already done the story in FGO, and you can probably just skip ahead to this timestamp again to hear me talk about what it adds to the experience. Addressing those out of the loop again, though, honestly, don't worry about feeling left out because, well, you didn't understand all that. It's more of a fault with the franchise than you. And the best way to present why this is the case is, well, by unironically using an iceberg, but in the wrong way. When it comes to Fate media/stories, I like to think there's 4 layers to it, each layer dictating how much you would need to know to fully enjoy the title. Although to make this analogy work, I do need to butcher the iceberg a little, so sorry. Anyway, layer 1 is our surface layer, which means you can go completely clueless and still enjoy it. This is where I'll put like the original 3 roots of Fate / Day Night, and arguably Fate / Semi Remnant, and Fate / type Redline, since you don't really need to know any of the other Fate mediums to enjoy it. At best, knowing the origins of this Musashi lets you understand why fans love her, and Ko / Ace doesn't really change your understanding of Redline. Moving on, layer 2 being the top half of the iceberg is for tiles where you can enjoy them by themselves, but a basic knowledge of Fate really does, well, enhance the titles. This is where I would put stuff like Fate / Zero, Fate / Requiem, Fate / Apocrypha, and the ever so beloved, well, Fate / Polari. Moving down to the bottom half of the iceberg is layer 3, where, well, a basic understanding of Fate is required to understand the significance of things happening, but you could still try to derive some enjoyment from its story. Like, I would put stuff like the Case Files of Lord Ellamore, Fate / Prismatic Ilya, and Fate / Grand Order here, also be to FGO, as it helps to, well, be a fan of Fate to fully appreciate stuff like just Waver in general, the shenanigans of Prisma Ilya, and why it's a really weird spinoff, which is weird to say for Fate, but trust me, it really is that weird and out there. And also, well, the usage of fan favorites in FGO, amongst other things. For our final layer, though, layer 4, being all the way down here, is for media that can only be enjoyed by understanding the context of their source material, which they're based on. Basically, it's reserved for direct sequels and adaptations. Like, think Fate / Hysteria, that are continuations of Fate / Extra. Fate / Hollow Axia, which needs you to play Fate / Day Night to understand what's going on, as this is a direct sequel to that. And important to this story, they're manga adaptations of part 1.5 stories. Like, sure, with enough determinations, you could move them, well, make them move up to layer 3, but I think you would really struggle. I also do want to talk about the different layers of Fate media some more in relation with the iceberg, but I think I'll save that for a separate video, since that would be like a huge undertaking and would be, frankly, a waste of your time right now. What's important right now, though, is that Shimousa is a layer 4 title, which means you really need to know your FGO story, well, to fully understand, well, to really understand what's happening. And FGO is like already like a layer 3 title. Like, I think if you're even a basic fan of Fate, meaning you're on layer 1, or even hell, layer 2, you can't enjoy this title if you want a good story experience. My key problem with the Shimousa manga is that it only exists to please its current fans and not attract new ones. This isn't like the Rumor Mafia spinoff, or My Hero Academia Vigilantes, or hell, even Fate / Strange Fake, where it's using tools in the original source material to tell something new that's both approachable for new players, new people, but still familiar for fans. This is just like straight up gatekeeping, as it requires you to have like read hours worth of lore just to understand, well, basic things like what is Chandala, who is this Musashi, who actually isn't Musashi, why is Gudako capable of summoning servants like this, why is Emiya here and acting like an old man and being called Muramasa, and who the fuck is Gudako? It's a lot of things that requires you to have an intimate knowledge of FGO to fully understand and appreciate it. And that hurts me, because as a fan of FGO, I think this is the best adaptation a lot. It elevates the story a lot by taking the game's stale-ass visual novel cutscenes and just giving it, like, actual... how do I put it? Flow? I think, not the right word, but that's what I'm going with right now. But it gives it actual flow, and it gives us these amazing fight scenes while still capturing the essence of the gameplay. As an FGO fan, it's complete and utter perfection with no flaws, but I would still struggle to recommend this title to anyone who isn't a FGO fan, because to properly enjoy it, you really need to know your FGO lore, which means you really need to know your Fate lore in general to properly get into FGO, or you really can't enjoy stuff like why MASH being fused with Galahad is cool, why Pseudo servants exist, and all that jazz. like I said, you could ignore that if you really want to enjoy FGO, but to not fully understand FGO, by not fully understanding FGO and its story, you won't fully appreciate Shimousa. Anyway, that's just like my really long-winded way of saying I can't recommend this to normal people as a story-driven experience. You may have noticed by now that I keep using the word story-driven experience when talking about my problems with recommending this title, because manga is not only a literary experience, but also a visual one. While I can't recommend its story aspect to those who know nothing about FGO, I can 100% recommend it as a visual experience because, well, it's just so damn beautiful. I haven't been so visually enraptured by a manga in years. I think the last time I reached this level of euphoria for a manga's art alone was when I read Berserk for the first time, and that was back in like 2014. I shit you not when I say I think Shimousa is so fucking good visually. You could just take every single panel of this manga and frame it in an art gallery without it being out of place. Every single panel, like page, is a collage of just amazing art, dripping with a beautiful sense of style. Like each panel is perfectly framed with the line art and the toning giving it this watercolored feeling that is just greatly elevated when it comes to the covers for the art. I'm just so in love with this title, and honestly I would 100% recommend this to anyone regardless of their knowledge of Fate to pick up this series, not as a manga but as an art book. Like, yeah, sure, you won't understand what's going on, but who cares when every single panel looks like this? If you're willing to treat this manga like it's a series of art books, I would say it gets elevated to a level 2, because at that point, knowing about the importance of these characters does elevate it even more, but you can enjoy it by itself. Even these fight scenes you can enjoy without context because of the amazing framing and choreography that goes into these sequences. Like, you don't even know why the assassin of Paradiso is capable of summoning an Arachi. You can just look at how cool it is to watch our favorite swordsman gut it. You can so easily enjoy this if you're willing to compromise an understanding of the story for artistic appreciation. And since we're treating it like an art book, I would 100% recommend getting physical copies since it's going to be cheaper than actual art books, and it being a Japanese print of a manga, it means you aren't paying the English speaker tax. And since we're going to be talking about my favorite part of my hobby, I'm going to do another tangent now. I'm doing this on camera because I thought I would save myself the effort of just trying to like line up footage and all this annoying fucking gibberish about just trying to like use actual camera footage when I'm trying to show things off. The downside is that you have to see me, and I haven't showered, so I look oily and gross. It was 37 degrees today. Leave me alone. And well, I also need to upload the rest of this, so just let me put this away. I'm gonna leave my Discord open so I don't need to physically look at myself in the camera and be roasted out. All that stuff. I really do not need to trigger my dysphoria. Hi. This is why I hate uploading, but no, right. If I remember, the point of this was to talk about the difference between English and Japanese publications of manga. So what I have here for my English sample is one of my volumes of Blackman. You could probably see it over there. Actually, can you? Oh, let me check. You can see a little bit. I actually have all of them except for volume 10, which is kind of annoying. You're gonna see my Xenoblade art book. I'll be talking about those later. I say later. It's gonna be a different video that you probably won't see. But yeah, no. Why is it dirty here? That's actually gonna bother me. So I keep getting off. This is why I don't ad-lib. But yeah, welcome. Very nice. Typical paperback release, of course. Insides, you have, of course, this nice art. Not touch my mic. It's gonna fall over during this recording. I know it. And then back here again, more. A bit hard to see because my window's open. I need that open, or I'm gonna cook alive in here. So yeah, no. So very normal English releases tend to have no paperback, nothing interesting. If you're lucky, you get a hardcover release. I don't have any hardcovers, for example, because hardcovers tend to be reserved for deluxe volumes. And as much as I like the idea of a deluxe volume, I'm also like having just normal paperback because they're not like collected up. Yeah, but I just keep looking this way because like I just like looking at my pile of Mikus. That's four there by right now. But no, so but I did want to show off the Japanese releases. So the difference between this and this is while they're still paperback each, something I really like about Japanese releases is that they tend to use a slipcover. So look, this is what the normal cover looks like, but this is actually paper. So if I go ahead and just take it off cam like this, look at that. Nice, easy. It's a bit annoying to keep slipcovers on, and it is annoying if they get damaged, which is why you should take very good care of your paper slipcovers. But something I like about paper slipcovers is the fact you can get like sweet alternative covers like this. And like stuff like this is normally you would find in the inside of these books, like here. But I like with paper slipcovers is that well you got like a sweet alternative cover, and you can still tell what it is by the side. But no, I like this. I actually want to show off a couple more of these, so because I do have like all four volumes. I know there's a fifth volume. I haven't actually ordered my fifth volume yet. I should have that ordered hopefully by next year so I can talk about it. But yeah, no, you get these sweet pieces of art. Like, here you go. Here's one with Vice Guy, Avesh. It's just neat. Oh, Spartacus is there too. And then on the back, you actually got Sama Musashi hanging out with the group. I saw that glitch on my camera. This is what I get for buying a shitty cheap one. And here's the one which has Assassin Paradiso on it, also known as Comey, I believe. But no, they give us extra Vlad and Jack the Assassin. Not Jack Zerka, yeah, but Jack the Assassin, and a little continuation on the back. So yeah, no, this is why I would 100%, if you don't mind not being able to read your copies or you want to learn Japanese, buy Japanese volumes when you can. They do tend to be cheaper, slightly cheaper, than getting physical English releases. Like, for example, this copy of Barakuman sent me back like $30. Or you can get a copy of these mangas for like 12, 15 USD, which might add up to the same price. Like, because this is AUD. Actually, mind you, this is $32 AUD. But yeah, no, it might be a little less, but like, you can tend to get free shipping with some websites, which is really nice. But yeah, no, that's all I really wanted to bring up because I really do like. Well, I really do think we should, when you can, buy Japanese. Like I said, really cool. And I might show off more of these alternative covers if I do end up buying mangas like that, because I do have like other Japanese manga you would know if you watched my now kind of unlisted series of videos where I just talk about my collecting process. And if you have seen that, you'll know I also bought this at some point. And this, or this, so this is openly an anthology collection by the artist Mugetsu. I think I got that right. It's probably wrong. I really don't care right now. Featuring some one-shots they did in the past, plus some new ones with colored art included. It seems like right now all they do is spin-off content for popular series, and I get it. That's not really what I'm really care about though right now, because look, I'm just gonna say it right now. I just really like that art style a lot. I won't be talking about the story element here because it's effectively just a collection of fight scenes, but the art is interesting, like incredibly interesting. Aside from giving us more amazing Musashi artwork, which is just, ooh, Uh, I love the fight choreography on display. While it's not on the level of Shimousa, it's still amazing in its own way. Like, honestly, while all the fights in this manga are amazing, like I said, in their own way, my standout pick here is obviously the Misashi Okita fight, made for this moment right here, where Misashi has to block Okita's NP. Having Misashi's thought process form the borders of the panels is just so visually distinct. Apart from that, there's no real substance to it, and well, I don't mind that. This is more of a showcase of the manga's prowess as an artist, and well, yeah, I say well done. This is really shows how brilliant you are. I would recommend picking it up if you can. I mean, I don't mean reading it. I mean like getting an actual physical copy again. I found it pretty cheap on my preferred website for ordering Japanese manga, so it's not too bad. And let's be real, you don't need to be able to understand the text. Once again, treat it like it's an art book if you do get a physical copy. But to be honest, I can only still recommend this on the basis that you're an FGO fan, because unless you're like me, who just appreciates all art and buys fan art books for series you have no idea about, well, yeah, wait, no, I don't even know where I'm going with this. The point is, I was just going to segue into talking about how I ended up with this Madoka Magica art book. It's pretty good quality too. Like I said, it's no, actually, scrap that. You just buy it. Why not? Art shouldn't be gatekeeped by if you appreciate characters or not. It should be gatekeeped if you like it or not. Okay, let's end this mess. God, that was a weirder video than I thought. Well, it ended up being, but well, it's still somehow better than the old one. The original version of this video was just a really very long-winded tangent about the story and trying to explain like FGO lore so the non-initiated viewers could understand. The only good thing about it, well, that version of the video was it was the fact that it inspired me to rewrite this script with non-FGO fans in mind. Because look, the only people who would be angry at me for being so dismissive of the story are the people who play FGO, and understand why it's rude of me to do that. I do stand by what I said though. You should read Shimousa for its art alone, because if you're interested in Shimousa for the story, you probably have already experienced it in FGO, or at least know what's going on in FGO to understand it. With that said, I'm 100% down to talk about this again purely as a FGO fan, fully focusing on the story when this series ends. The whole iceberg segment in general actually made me really want to dig into the Fate media content again. So yeah, look forward to other Fate titles next year. I know a Fate / Strange revisit is so on the books with the anime's release coming at the end of this month, so I'm down to cover the other 1.5 adaptations. Maybe even the case file stuff, since, well, I could do with more waiver in my diet. God, Shimosuri just reinvigorated my passion for Fate, and honestly, I can't wait to talk about it again. In fact, I already made the thumbnail for it when I'm ready to cover the full story. Yeah, I'm holding the good thumbnail hostage until they finish this series. Anyway, here's to a Merry Christmas and hopefully exciting season of polarity at the end of this year. Goodbye.